Hey folks, welcome back to another video. I'm currently waiting at the bottom of the slate quarries. I came down on the longboard thing there. See the dog behind, pretty warm today. And Laura came down on her bike, but she forgot the key to her bike lock, so she can't lock it up. So she's pedalled home to sort that out. So I'm just chilling in the sun. It's a flipping lush day, as you can gather. Mountains over there. It's nice just to see some blue sky. It's been a bit grim the last few days. Today's video is going to be a little bit about sort of working a route when you found a project. So that video I did the other day about inspecting a route, actually it's not that route. It looked really good, but very, very thin climbing, and I kind of wanted something a bit more powerful. I think I found the route I like on the slate called the Dark Half, another 8A. It's a different style of climbing though, kind of some weird, you throw some weird shapes, and there's some skinny holds, but not so many as we're on Manic Strain. So I've had just one go on it the other day, and so just going back for the next session really. At 8A, definitely doable, and it feels really doable, but it'll take me a few sessions no doubt. So I just wanted to talk through that kind of process, from head game stuff, managing expectations, to the kind of process of using a clip stick to dog your way up a route, and how to minimise faff when a route's really hard for you, because that's key. So sort of save energy and just max out the session really as best you can. So that'll be the content of this video. Flipping roasting today, as I said, so it's going to be quite hard to climb it well, because the rock will be really hot to touch, but I think it'll be worthwhile to get to know some moves and just to get to know the route a little bit better. And it was a bit wet last time in places, so hopefully it'll be a bit drier today. So I'm going to continue waiting here with the boy down there. Might find a bit of shade for him actually, because he's getting a bit warm now, although he loves the sun like I do. And you'll join me back up there in a little bit. Oh, right, you can probably see me sweating. It is flipping roasting out here. So I've had a nice walk up to the route, the Dark Half 8A, and you will have seen that bit of footage there just on the GoPro of me using my long clip stick at full reach to clip as far as I can. I mentioned kind of managing the head game a little bit, and that's not fear of falling. You know, it's a sport route and it's really well bolted, there's nothing much to hit, so it's not that side of things. It's more managing expectations. At 8A, I'm not going to get on this. I've had one go on it before, doing what I'm going to do now. So I know the moves a little bit, but there is virtually zero chance of me getting on that now and leading it today. Right. Now it's really flipping hot today, so it would be pretty tricky to get this route anyway, because it's going to feel pretty flipping sweaty, and the rock is roasting. Most of the holds are pretty big, and you're throwing some funky shapes and some big moves, but there's a couple of things that are really pretty thin, so to be smearing like hot rock shoes on hot slate is going to be hard anyway. So what I'm going to do now is go and do it, and I'll set the GoPro up to record it, and I'll probably do like a bit of a reflection on it and talk through it, that kind of thing. It is hotter than the sun on that route. I knew it was going to be hot. The forecast is great, there's hardly a cloud in the sky, and this is pretty much south facing, so it's no great surprise. But yeah, I wasn't quite expecting it to be so hot. The rock on the floor is like too hot to touch. On the route, the actual rock's not too bad, you just get so hot doing it that I just sweated off a few holds. And even the rubber on my shoes was so soft that it was like, you know, when rubber kind of balls up almost and bits were sort of peeling off the shoes. So I did ping off a good few times on that. I've just shown, hopefully, if it all went well, hopefully shown you a bit of GoPro footage off just my sort of warm-up go. And then I just had one more go as well, and that's me done for the day. So just talking through what I did, I took the clip stick with me, worked up, you know, pre-clipped obviously, as I said, climbed up to that bit, made myself safe, and a lanyard's the best job for that. You can use other methods such as a quick draw, but there's definitely cons to using a quick draw. A lanyard is belt and braces, or some people use like a quick draw with 2 screw gates on it. That's a good idea, but anyway, make yourself safe. Either pull up the clip stick if you haven't already got it, or to take it with you, and then clip 1 or 2 more carefully. I've done another video on that, but just, you know, dogging your way up the route with the clip stick, so you're always on a top rope. And I didn't go quite to the top. I went to there was 2 more clips before the chain, so I went to there on the first go and then just lowered off. So you're lowering off 1 bolt, but there's loads of other bolts clipped, so it feels perfectly safe to me. There's a couple of reasons for that. One, that was like my warm-up go. I haven't done another route today. So again, sorry for sweating, I'm so hot. I haven't done another like warm-up route today. So the other day when we came and did it, I just had 1 burn, but I'd done an E1 just to get moving and stuff. The E1 that's here though, it's actually not very nice, so I didn't really want to do it again. There's some other stuff, but it felt like just warming up with the TheraBand and the squeezy ball and doing a little bit of dynamic stretching kind of ticked the boxes. So bit of cardio, pulse raises, that's just the walk in, bit of balance and coordination, dynamic stretching, you kind of, I feel like I'm good to go. I've talked about a second that, you know, before the bit of video, it's about like managing your expectations. That first go, it's just warming up and getting to know some moves, getting to know the conditions as well. I've only had 1 go, so I really don't know the moves very well at all. So it's just about a bit of fact finding. Why don't I dog up the route without the clip stick, as in, you know, just climb up, fall off, and eventually I'll get to another bolt, clip it and clip the rope in. It just, for me, at this point in the stage of working the route, it wastes too much energy, because every time you fall off and you go down a bit, you have to do those moves again that you've already done. So I find that you're wasting energy, which seems a bit sort of self-defeating really for the purpose of what I'm after. And also you end up on the moves like completely knackered sometimes, so they almost feel harder than they actually will do on the red point effort. So for me, it's all about minimizing energy expenditure at this stage of the game, right? Stay safe when you're doing it, but I think it's really useful. I said though that I left a couple of clips before the chains on that go. So on the second go, I was on a top rope up to that point, and again just working the moves with a nice tight rope and stuff, so I'm not losing any height when I do fall off. I had a couple of properly unexpected pings off when I did that as well, like proper flyers, which is good, just because it's so hot really, but it's hard. And then when I got to the top of where I had clipped, I then led the last bit. The trouble potentially with doing a lot of top roping is you kind of lose your kind of lead head, and you get a bit nervous going above the bolts if you do too much of it. So what I like to do is just keep ticking over, one, by doing other routes, you know, on sighting and stuff like that, or trying to on sight and flash stuff, but 2, just on the easy bits, just doing a few clips worth on that. And the top actually felt quite hard, even though it's really easy, just again because it's so sweaty. So there's loads of positives to take. And that's important to mention that, because it's really easy to get on a route, especially on these early goes, and just to feel a bit demoralised because everything felt so hard. There's always positives to be taken. There's always little bits of progress to be made, whether that's head game stuff, learning some moves, feeling strong, whatever it might be. Any time on the route is pretty much guaranteed to be good time on the route. So what I do is I'll go back now, because this is going to be, I'd hope this project won't take too long, just a few sessions, but because I'll be coming back a few times, I'll make a few notes in my like route diary. Well, I get paranoid about little spiders and things, just an ant, that one. yeah, so I get, like, in my route diary, I write down some key bits, maybe even every move on this one, because there's not many to remember. But it definitely feels doable. I'm really psyched by this one. The boy, come here, boy. He's just going to interfere in there for a second. Right, go away, boy. He's just excited we knock the camera over or something. So, just to recap, set out on purpose to, like, top rope it, basically, purely to get to learn the moves and stuff. There's never any intention of today being a lead day with the potential of getting it. It's purely about setting myself up for the long game. Now, if this was a few grades lower, let's say it was, I don't know, say 7C, there's a chance of me flashing that route. So I'd like to give it a really good go, and I would try and flash it. And then if I didn't flash it, yeah, then I'd dog up, you know, just like climbing up and clipping as I go without the clip stick. But at this level or higher, this feels like the best way for me to do it. Some people would disagree with this, right? And people will say, oh, clip sticks make you soft. And that's why I say I try and manage that by doing some clips worth of climbing. To me, clip sticks are just such a useful tool for this sport climbing, red pointing kind of stuff. It does have benefits, I reckon, to your on-sighting if you start to work stuff, because when you go to on-site, let's just say, you know, we're talking about 8A here, so let's say we go down to a 7B after, you know, projecting a few 8As, you know you can do the moves. That's such a massive plus for your head, I reckon. You know you can do those moves, so you've got more chance of on-sighting stuff. And I think it does translate to trad as well. Again, because, you know, most people's trad grades are a bit below their sport grade if they're, you know, super keen on both. So again, you're just climbing that trad route and you might be a bit scared, but you can think in your head, but I know these moves aren't going to be as hard as what I know I can do. And that's why I like bouldering as well, because there's that as well. So all these different elements have benefits to each other. You know, you get really good at trad climbing, then you've probably got a pretty good head for going above the bolts and stuff. Great. Anything else to mention about this route? Other than it's brilliant. You see those moves, massive high rock overs, loads of sort of lay-backy bits, even like backhanded lay-back. That's a bit of a weird move. I'm not sure if I'll stick with that. Massive moves into a big undercut. It's just, I'm properly psyched. I've been struggling with the motivation lately, and sometimes for me, the best thing to do is to go and get a project that I get really sucked into. Please do fire away with any questions, you know, about working routes or anything for that matter, but, you know, do ask away. I'm happy to answer as best I can. Find us on Insta, find us on Facebook. You know the score about that. I go on about that every time. If you've liked the video, click that like button, click that subscribe button. It's massively appreciated. We're doing like so well, far beyond what I expected the numbers to be at. So massive thanks for tuning in again. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that video. More videos coming up very soon.